ask you something. When was the last time you just sat with someone? No phones buzzing, no scrolling in the middle of a sentence, and no checking of notifications. Just two people, eye to eye, fully present in the moment, engaged in a real old fashioned conversation. Well, the other night I was at a restaurant, and what I saw, it made me stop and think. There was this family of four, and they were all seated together, but there was no real human connections being made. There was no laughter or talking, or they didn't even stop to acknowledge each other. They just everyone sitting around and mesmerized, their faces all glued in those little glowing screens like a bunch of zombies. And then I noticed at the table right beside them, it was an older couple, maybe in their late 70s or early 80s. No phones, no distractions, just talking and laughing and fully being present with each other and completely locked into the moment. And then it got me to wondering, are we really more connected than ever, or have we just become way too comfortable with being distant? And is technology actually helping us, or is it slowly stealing us away from those things that really matter? Because people, if we're not careful, we might wake up one day and realize that we don't even know how to talk to each other anymore. So pull up a chair, because this is something we really need to talk about. Hey, Circle. Welcome back to Unk Unplugged. And this is the place where we talk about the stuff that everybody else just thinks about, but nobody really wants to talk about. And for those of you joining me for the first time, well, pull up a chair, make yourself comfortable, because guess what? You're family now. And to my Circle regulars, thanks again for showing up. You're always welcome, and let's continue to grow this thing together. All right, people, let's jump into it. Let's start off with the good stuff. Technology has given us a lot of things. It's given us video calls with the grandkids and the ability to send quick text to the loved ones, and health tracking and telehealth visits and medicine reminders, which I use myself. Off subject for a second. Do you remember writing letters and waiting days for a response to come back? We don't have to do that anymore. We can see our families now basically anytime we want. And if you ask me, that's pretty incredible, people. Okay, enough. Let me share something with you that happened to me in my life last month. My sister, she lives across the country now, and we used to be close. And you know how life starts lifing, and you lose a little contact, so we don't talk as much as we once did. So we talk maybe once a month now, birthdays, holidays, things like that. So apparently her grandson, Keeber, he taught her how to use video calls, which I didn't even know he knew how. So guess what? Now we get to talk every Sunday. We get to see each other's faces. We get to share in each other's lives. And we get to feel that sense of connection, that brother and sister connection again. But people, that kind of connection, that wouldn't have been possible just a few years ago. And to me, that's not just a connection, that's access into each other's lives. She gets to have access to my life in real time, and I get to have access to her life. That's pretty special if you ask me. And stop to think about all the other ways that technology has provided more access for us seniors. We get to bank without leaving home. We get our shopping orders, Amazon, delivered right to our front door. My wife orders so much stuff from Amazon. I actually think she works there. We even get entertainment now on demand, to that unlimited amount of information that's right at our fingertips. No more going to the library. Every library on earth is right at our fingertips. And think about those seniors who have mobility issues or health concerns, or even the ones who don't drive and have transportation challenges. So now technology isn't only more convenient, it's actually making life liberating for a lot of seniors. And then there's the health technology perks that we get from technology. There's those medication reminders and fall detection and heart monitoring, telehealth, and emergency responses right at our fingertips. So in our subdivision, I have a neighbor named Joe, and we're in this ongoing landscaping competition. Joe, he's retired, so he likes to cut his grass and do his landscaping 2 or 3 times a week. I unfortunately am not able to do it that often. But anyway, Joe, he lives alone. He's a widower. His wife passed away a few years ago. And we all know he has a heart condition, but he wears a smartwatch with a heart monitor function on it to, you know, monitor his heart rate. Well, that smartwatch detected an irregular heartbeat. So he was rushed to the hospital. But when he got there, he was diagnosed with arterial flutter and he was given medication. And subsequently, a few weeks later, he was given a heart surgery to correct that problem. Don't worry, he's fine. He's okay. He's still out there on that damn lawnmower. But the point I'm making is that technology just didn't improve his life. It actually saved it, you know? But with every positive, there's always a negative. And here's the flip side to technology. It seems like every time we figure something out, boom, they go and upgrade it. So just when we learn how to use our cell phone and we know where all the buttons are and what all the features do, boom, you turn it on and new update, new system, new problems. And let's be honest here, people. Technology isn't designed for us seniors, and it isn't designed with us seniors in mind. Those tiny little buttons and that little small text that you can't read with your glasses on, and you damn sure can't read with your glasses off. And those complicated menus and the constant changes and upgrades and that technical jargon. It's not just annoying anymore. It's actually on the verge of being exclusionary. Okay, last story, I swear. Last story. I got a lot of stories. I'm a man of a certain age. I've done a lot of things, been around the world. So I have a lot of stories. So let me tell you what happened to a friend of mine named Richard. Now, Richard is a retired engineer. And this is one of the most brilliant men that I've ever met in my entire life, with exception to my Uncle Clarence, who worked for Wright-Patterson Air Force Base developing the B-1 bomber. Rest in peace, Uncle. Richard had been a problem solver his whole life. We grew up as kids together, and he'd always trying to figure out ways to make this better or fix this or upgrade this. But anyway, he bought a smart TV, and he said he spent 3 days trying to get this damn thing set up. He said he called customer service repeatedly. He could never get through to a human, and after so many attempts, he just got frustrated and gave up. And you know what Richard said to me when I talked to him? And this was disturbing to me. He said that for the first time in his whole life, he felt stupid. And I don't know about you people, but to me, that's not right. Technology should empower us. It shouldn't diminish us. It shouldn't make us feel like less than because we don't totally understand it. And it shouldn't be so damn hard that we don't totally understand it. And then there's the other, even darker side of technology that I hope none of us have fell prey to. And that's this ongoing scam problem. As seniors, we lose billions of dollars every year to technology scams. And they're ever improving. That's the problem. To fake mails, fake tech support, to email scams, the identity theft, to et cetera, et cetera. The list just goes on and on, people. And at this point, they're just not annoyances anymore. They're directed predatory attacks on our community. They go after seniors because they assume that we're less tech savvy. And in most instances, they're right, but that doesn't make it right. And there's this other thing that we need to talk about. Everybody knows it's going to eventually happen, but we just kind of look the other way as if it's not going to. What happens when everything goes online? So banking goes digital, all medical care goes virtual, and all essential services get automated and human interaction completely disappears. So all you get to talk to now is a digital voice. Well, stop and think for a minute. Because for many seniors, that in-person interaction, that might be their only social contact. So that teller at the bank or that pharmacist or that grocery clerk, those might be the only actual people that person gets to interact with, because after all, everybody doesn't have a family. And what about when everything's an app? Where does that leave them? And the brutal truth is we're creating two worlds, people. Those who can navigate this technology and those who can't. And what's worse, that gap is continuing to grow. I mean, just think about it. All essential services are moving online and to digital platforms. So that means all virtual information is going to be digital at some point. That means no more paper copies. You need a social security card? Sorry. Birth certificate, virtual, but not a paper copy, not a hard copy. And those basic needs that require us to be able to get in contact with a person, well, no more. They'll all be on a digital platform as well. And all basic needs will eventually require the use of technology, people. So things like home utilities, paying your home utilities, or banking, or healthcare, or even entertainment, will be online. All of them, totally. And to me, that's not progress, people. That's exclusion. So what's the answer? What do we do about this? Well, as I've always said in most of my videos, technology itself isn't the problem. It's neither bad or good. It's just a tool. It's just how it's designed or implemented or taught or supported. Those are where the real problem lie. So what's the solution? Well, the first solution is to design it with everyone in mind. So that would mean larger text buttons, simpler interfaces, more consistent layouts, and clearer language, and better accessibility to help. And remember, good design isn't just for younger users. It should be for everyone. I'm tired of straining my eyes trying to see this little teeny tiny text. And one of the second solutions will be more meaningful support. So that means not just technical manuals or online frequently asked questions or automated chatbots that you can never get to talk about anything that you need help with, but real help, people. You know, start to offer more in-person classes or telephone support or patient assistance, and have real human interaction, have real humans on the phone that we can talk to. I am so tired of talking to this automated voice and never getting anywhere. And there's never an option to talk to a human. Have you noticed that anymore? The third solution, offer more digital literacy programs. So start teaching the basic skills of this technology and safety awareness and scam detection and privacy protection. You know? And not on just how the technology works, but how to make it work for us. And here's my take on all this. Technology can be a wonderful thing for us seniors, but only if we have a choice in using it, and we can access the proper types of support. And we're also included in the design of this technology, and we're also protected from exploitation. Personally, I think there should be specific laws passed where the punishment is harsher if you could commit an online crime against a person over a certain age. I mean, they have to do something. At this point, we're being preyed upon. Technology, it shouldn't hinder our independence. It should only enhance it. And it shouldn't replace our autonomy. It should enhance that also. But if everything is online and you don't know how to get online, well, your autonomy has been hindered. And after watching this technology evolve for decades now, here's what I know. The best technologies, well, they don't try to change how we live. They simply try to improve it. And the best technology doesn't replace human connections. It simply tries to enable those connections. And enough from me. Now I want to hear from you, Circle. I want to hear from you. That's right. What's your experience with technology? And what helps you and what frustrates you? And what would you change? And for the younger folks watching, both of you, what could you do to help bridge this gap, to help us older folks out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This should be very interesting. Let's continue to share that hive knowledge. And if this conversation hit home with you, hit that subscribe button and join the circle. We have a lot of good, interesting, controversial topics coming down the pipeline, and I don't want you guys to miss anything. And again, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you pulling up a chair and spending some time with me today. Because after all, we're all navigating this digital world together, trying to figure it out. And always remember, this journey we're on, from strangers to family, yeah, that's what we're building here. A tribe, a family. And I'm Unk, and as always, stay connected and stay learning. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, everybody.